Hi, this is Wes Kussmaul again. In this video, we'll be talking about the production of authenticity. In the previous video, entitled, "What Do Highways Bring Us To?" we asked whether authenticity is a producible product. And we answered, yes, absolutely. Authenticity is a producible product. Authenticity may be produced in various grades or levels of quality. The raw materials that go into the making of authenticity are assertions, attestations from public authority, and PKI. And those are the ingredients of the authenticity infrastructure, which is the first of three parts of the quiet enjoyment infrastructure. The foundational assertion and attestation, the one that all others are built upon in a village, whether it's a village of 700 people or a global village of 7 billion people, is that of identity. And the only meaningful attestation is attestation by public authority. The slogan of the Authenticity Institute and its licensees, both commercial and non-commercial, is "Identity is the foundation of security." Really, that's shorthand for reliable identity is the foundation of authenticity, which is the foundation of security and accountability and manageability and a whole lot of other good things. Think of the quiet enjoyment infrastructure as the 21st century version of the collection of materials technologies plus the things that made those materials usable. In the 19th century, those materials technologies were concrete and steel. Our 21st century materials technology is PKI. Early PKI was like early concrete and steel, a world-changing set of materials technology in need of additional things to make it work in the real world. Our PKI includes professional licensing and occupancy permits from public authority and is defined by a mature standard called quiet enjoyment infrastructure. Quiet enjoyment is the legal term for a building that is built to code, carries an occupancy permit, and delivers security and manageability to its occupants. In the previous video, we noted that the quiet enjoyment infrastructure, or QEI, consists of 12 components, which fall into three groups: people, places, and things. And that the authenticity infrastructure is the people part of the quiet enjoyment infrastructure. Quiet enjoyment starts with the basic building block of authenticity, which is reliable identities. We've also talked about the certificates that attest to ownership of sites whose address starts with HTTPS. Now we need certificates that are technically identical to site certificates, but that attest to a person's identity rather than a site's ownership. One concern about reliable identities is that they make you trackable. Later in our privacy videos, we'll show that if identities are done right, they yield accountable anonymity, which can and should provide a fortress of privacy. Let's briefly look at enrollment as performed by a licensed enrollment authority, an Authenticity Alliance member enterprise called Reliable Identities. The more rigorous enrollment procedures are performed face-to-face by a signing agent, a specially qualified notary whose enrollment assignments are managed by Reliable Identities. At enrollment, a key pair is generated in the subject's computer or phone or smart card or token. Pairs of keys are at the heart of PKI. The keys are just mathematically related numbers. Anything that's encrypted with one of the keys can only be decrypted by the other one in the pair of keys or numbers. Or you could say that a puzzle made with either key can only be solved with the use of the other key. That way we avoid scary words like encryption. In the authenticity infrastructure, everyone gets a key pair at enrollment. We call the key pair a puzzle kit. Everyone who is enrolled is given a puzzle kit that consists of two keys, two mathematically related numbers. Although there's no need to know that's what's in your puzzle kit. Your computer takes care of all the key stuff. It's invisible to the user. One key in the pair is designated private, and you keep it in a secure place, such as a smart card. The other is your public key, which you can share with anyone. You can use the resulting credential online or offline to prove identity. You may have guessed that in our world, PKI stands for Puzzle Kit Infrastructure rather than Public Key Infrastructure. I mean, if private keys are essential to this stuff, what good is an infrastructure that deals only with public keys? And if we avoid dealing with the essential private key component out of some vague product liability fear, then we might as well forget about authenticity. And for that matter, we may as well forget about security. So now our enrolled individual has a key pair. Actually, that foundational archival key pair is used to generate other key pairs that are used on a day-to-day basis. But to keep things simple, we'll pretend there's just one key pair. We digitally sign things, documents, messages, images, etc., using the tools of PKI. Digital signatures from privacy-protected, reliable identities are essential to the authenticity infrastructure. We'll oversimplify for a moment to convey the basic idea behind digital signatures. If you'd like a little more detail, there's a separate short video for that. To establish authenticity using this simplified method, you encrypt a message or document with your private key. Anyone on Earth can decrypt it with your public key and see that it was encrypted by you and has not been altered. That's the essential idea behind a digital signature. To keep it simple, we've left some things out. You don't need to understand those technical steps to make use of digital signatures, but if you're interested, the video entitled Digital Signatures will give you some detail. In practice, your computer does almost all of this PKI stuff in the background, but when you know how it works, you'll understand why it's important to help make people aware of it. Really, this is the heart and soul of authenticity. Digital signatures from reliable identities with privacy protection. When we have spaces where that's the rule, we will have solved massive numbers of problems, especially if those online spaces include a way to prevent others from tracking you by tracking your signatures. Note that authenticity does not imply confidentiality. If confidentiality is what you're after, you encrypt the message or file with your recipient's public key. Then the recipient is the only person on Earth who can decrypt and read it. If you're familiar with PKI, you know I've oversimplified things here as well. For example, encryption in the real world is almost always done with old-fashioned symmetric cryptography, where the encryption key and the decryption key are the same. But that symmetric key is created using PKI keys. I don't want to confuse you with these details, but you know we do need to be authentic here. While encryption of your files may be important to you or your business, our message is about authenticity and privacy, rather than confidentiality of files. And authenticity calls for digital signatures from reliable identities with privacy protection. So for our purposes here, encryption is only important as it is involved in digital signatures. If you want to learn more about encryption of your files, one of our Authenticity Alliance enterprises can help. Actually, encryption is easy. The hard part is managing who has what keys to which files when, and where those keys are kept. If you'd like some help with that, we have an enterprise that can help you. Let us know. For a less oversimplified version of how digital signatures work, tune into our video entitled Digital Signatures. If you'd rather skip the further technical detail, then jump ahead to the second part of this Production of Authenticity video.